What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's a beautiful Friday today. And, my hair, I decided to do a little something different with it. I don't know. Excuse the hair if it looks crazy, so, But, I decided that, I was just going to let it grow out. And, I'm not getting another haircut for, I would say, like another 3 months. Because, I don't know, I just wanted it to grow out. Maybe I was thinking maybe I'll put in some waves or something. But, yeah. And I think it's pretty much spring here, where I am in Florida. Yeah, and just in Florida in general, because it's the temperatures are back to it just being warm, and because it was before it was getting like warm during the day, and then the temperatures drop at night, and now it's warm during the day and warm at night. The temperature might drop just a little bit, but it's not cold or nothing at night. So yeah, I think spring's already here for us. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Bad Bunny halftime show. You got a lot of people that liked it. You had some people that didn't, and you had even some. I even saw some black folks that didn't like it. It was tied into some Chris Brown shit. I don't even know. I don't care. But but yeah, it was actually really nice, and I liked that it didn't have it only had like even a little bit of English at the end, but barely any English. And I really felt like it represented not just with Bad Bunny's culture with Puerto Rican culture, but it represented togetherness. And I loved how they had how he had the traditional house there, and how he fell into the audience. That to me represented community, how your community is there for you and how they're there to catch you. And the other thing is all the different flags, and how you even had him shout out to the Haitians too, and that was that was really nice. Other Caribbean countries, and even with the Americas, and yes, the Americas, because I like how he gave a shout out to Canada too. And I see that as him saying that America shouldn't be the one and only America. America shouldn't center itself as America honestly likes to do, and that's really the truth. Because at the end of the day, there's as I said, more than one America, the Americas. If you go outside of America, you'll see that. And regardless of what the propaganda and indoctrination tells you, because let's be real, with America, there's a bunch of indoctrination in thinking that, hey, we're exceptional, we're the best, the best in the world and all that, when that's not true. I already know I pissed some people off by saying that, but I don't give a fuck. I said what I said. If that pissed you off, I would encourage you to really think on that. Why does that piss you off? Because it's the truth. And I really liked the shade of blue on the Puerto Rican flag. That was the original color in the Puerto Rican flag. And you had Lady Gaga there in that beautiful dress, of course representing the flag too. And you had the couple on there that actually got married on stage. At first I thought that was like just just something for show, but they actually got married on there. And I think that was, and you know, that said a bunch of things too, and that was very beautiful. And you had what's his name, Ricky Martin there too, and you know, there was just so many you know, so much symbolism in all of this, and you know, telling even with, you know, all the things happening, some of the history of Puerto Rico too. And on and you know, I absolutely love that too, because a lot of Americans don't even bother to learn about Puerto Rico, and it's just crazy to me. And you had uh 47 talking about he wanted to deport Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's a citizen, because again, Puerto Rico is a territory, which he's a citizen. But of course, he says a bunch of shit. That man don't know what he doing, what he's saying and doing more than half the time. Shit, his brain fried from all the drugs that he did back in the day. But anyway, I just had to say that. I don't care. But anyway, so and the other thing is you had the conservatives that just got really just they got so pissed off over this, and Megyn Kelly had her just crash out. Like, what the fuck? She was talking about with Piers Morgan, just like, you know, what type of shit she was saying? Like, well, Britain lost its culture and all this other bullshit, and you know, we don't want to lose our culture and everything. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean, bitch? What the fuck does that really mean? And you know, people like me, we definitely know what that means. I mean, they don't want, you know, people coming together, and they want that, you know, white supremacy. That's basically what she and all the other motherfuckers are saying. They want that white supremacy. They want to go back to, as they say, the good old days where that was very, very prominent. And of course, like, you know, even you know, after the civil rights movement and all this stuff, it was still, of course, white supremacy, and even, you know, even in the future there will always be that. But you know, it was, I would say, more acceptable. And you know, now it's more acceptable too, because of look who's in the White House. But y'all know what I mean. So yeah, that was actually funny to me. And then they had that other halftime show with that Points USA. That was a whole fucking mess. And you know, you didn't have as many people as they like to, as they, you know, like to fake that, you know, watched it. Cause I mean, just no, hell no. Like I said, a hot ass fucking mess. America to them is just, as I said, white supremacy, and all the rest of us being below them. That's what it is. But anyway, I just found that really funny. That was so funny. So, you know, and they were losing their minds, and they still even continuing to lose their minds over that. And because, I mean, and you know, at the end of the day, this another way that this represents America is that, you know, America's a melting pot. It is. It has so many different peoples and so many different cultures. And you have people just complaining about, it was in Spanish, it should be English and all that shit. America never really had an official language. Never did. And honestly, I see it as Americans really should be learning other languages, like in all these other countries. You know, these people be learning 3, 4, 5 languages. They you know, that's I think that's really what's the word I want to say, amazing. So, you know, sorry, mine went blank for a minute. And here, you know, it's really just not encouraged to really learn another language. You might learn a little bit of Spanish in school, but it's a joke. It's you know, it's really nothing. And you know, one of the New Year's resolutions, I said in another video, I think, is, you know, to learn some Spanish and another language too, but mainly Spanish, because the thing is that, you know, you can communicate with more people, and you know, and even when you start speaking Spanish to other Spanish speakers, you know, their face lights up when you know, when you speak Spanish to them, because I think it really shows and tells a lot. You know, you took the time out to actually, you know, do that. And it's and I think with just languages too, it's just another way of, well, not just, it is another way of connecting with people on a different level. And I think that's really just what we need in this day and age, connecting with one another on a different level. And and I almost forgot, with him handing the I think it was the Grammy to the little boy. And you know, people were talking about this, and I see it too. You know, he you know, I think that really symbolizes you know, his self, and him working hard to get to where he is, and even probably seeing himself in the little boy, saying like, you know, if you work hard, you can get to where I am, or even better, you know, that type of thing. So, you know, I really liked it. It was it was amazing. And you know, I wonder what the next halftime show is gonna be, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck about American football. Really, I never got the hype. Only times I really watched the Super Bowl was for the commercials, and I didn't even watch it this time for the commercials. I just watched the halftime show and went about my business. Because even people were saying with the halftime show, I mean, not the halftime show, the Super Bowl commercials were just weird this year. Didn't even bother to watch them. So I was just for the halftime show, and that was it. And of course, as I said, it did not disappoint. So, all right then, y'all. So that's all I gotta say for this video. Just a short little video on my thoughts on this, and I will see y'all in the next video.